So happiness mind matters. Basic principles. Welcome to the Mind Matter module, where we dive into the workings of the conscious mind, subconscious mind, autonomic nervous system, and brain waves. Understanding these fundamental aspects of your mind is crucial because they form the foundation of how you think, feel, and act every day. By gaining insight into how your mind operates on different levels, you'll be empowered to harness your mental and emotional resources more effectively. This knowledge is key to achieving greater self-awareness, emotional resilience, and the ability to influence your thoughts and behaviors in ways that align with your true intentions and goals. Your mind can be likened to a computer. The screen of your desktop represents your conscious mind, and the central processing unit, CPU, of your computer is like your subconscious mind. The superconscious mind is likened to the internet or Ethernet. Your brain can also be likened to the hardware of the computer and your mind as the software. The conscious mind. The conscious mind is the part of the mind that is aware, deliberate, and actively processes thoughts, perceptions, and decisions in the present, awake. Imagine or look at the screen of your desktop. You have one or two windows open that take up the entire screen. This is where your attention is focused. Other programs may still be running in the background, minimized or behind the main window on your screen. The conscious mind focuses on the task at hand while still running other programs in the background, alternating between them when needed, depending on the external environment or internal cues, thoughts, and feelings that act on your mouse and keyboard senses. When you need to, you can easily open other programs and/or alternate placing your attention on a different window by using your mouse or keyboard so you can continue with your work. Your conscious mind controls less than 10% of what you do or think. Some scholars say it may be only 5% of your mind is your conscious awareness, which means that 95% of your life is controlled by your subconscious mind, below your awareness. This part of your mind is where you can uniquely create, plan, and reflect on information through the programs and applications utilized that have been gathered from your environment and from the information that is stored in your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is where you make decisions or choices. It compares, contrasts, and makes judgments. The conscious mind is the part of the brain that is aware and noticing with a degree of controlled thought or observation. It analyzes problems and figures out how to solve them. It utilizes inductive and deductive reasoning for rational thought. It is the logical part of your brain. Think about this. Logic and reasoning are only 5 to 10% of your brain. The remaining is governed by your subconscious, below your awareness. For instance, cigarette smokers will often rationalize why they smoke, saying, "It helps me to relax," when, in fact, nicotine is a stimulant. The conscious mind houses your 5 senses: hearing, touching, seeing, tasting, and smelling, which enables you to experience the physical world. The conscious mind operates in a beta brain wave state which can be measured by an electroencephalogram. Beta registers 1540 cycles per second. Beta uses about 10 to 12% of your brain power. It is where your working short-term memories are formed and released as a survival mechanism. Imagine what it would be like if you stored every bit of information you have garnered throughout your life. The subconscious, unconscious mind. The subconscious mind concerns the mind of which one is not fully aware, but which influences actions and feelings, existing or operating in the mind beneath or beyond the conscious. Some psychologists prefer to use the term subconscious as opposed to unconscious, since many people associate the word unconscious with a medical condition. The preferred word in this context is subconscious, where sub means below and conscious means aware, thus below one's awareness. Your subconscious is like the central processing unit, CPU, of a computer, which holds all the programs that form the data that help run the computer and allow all the items on your screen to show up in the first place. The subconscious mind is the feeling, emotion, bio-computer mind. It is the huge storehouse of memories that begin recording at conception. It has thousands of times more capacity than most computers. Note: this may change with AI. It stores all impressions, including those made under general anesthesia. The main task of the subconscious mind is to ensure your survival. It houses the reptilian brain, which controls all your basic instincts, including flight, fight or freeze, response. The subconscious contains all the programs and data downloaded since conception. Not only does it have all the information and data you can view and use through your screen, conscious awareness, but it also contains all the necessary programs and data to run your entire desktop computer, such as the reminder to recharge the battery when it gets low and using the fan to cool down the CPU. These are vital programs, but not necessarily important to focus on consciously, so they run in the background, directed by the CPU, and not always visible on the screen. The subconscious works in the same way. Every memory, thought, feeling, and experience you have ever had is stored in your subconscious mind. It is continually registering, downloading, sorting, and classifying information and messages from your environment that are valid and current. It is exponentially more powerful than the conscious mind and working at significantly faster speeds. Just like the CPU, the subconscious also contains programs that run, maintain, and alert your entire autonomic nervous system, which regulates your breathing, heart rate, blood pressure, body temperature, and your reproductive and digestive systems. The subconscious does not reason, think, or argue facts. It makes associations and connections. Its main languages are feelings and emotions, which means you are mainly controlled by your emotions. It is the seat of your imagination. It also takes things literally, without reason. The subconscious controls over 90% of your life. It is imperative to work with it to help you shape your behaviors, beliefs, and reactions. The superconscious is likened to the Internet or Ethernet. It is a heightened awareness. It is the collective conscious of the universe. It is your higher self. Some experts say this resides in the pineal gland. However, it is questionable to say whether this is a physical or biological component of the mind or the brain. The superconscious is theoretically where unconditional love, grace, forgiveness, spirituality, and wisdom reside. This is the mindset of peace and tranquility. This is also where hope, faith, and trust reside. For some, this may be a connection to an energy, a higher power, or God. Some thought leaders also describe this part of the mind as being in the zone. It is when your brain is in the high gamma brainwave pattern, when you are firing on all cylinders and feeling unstoppable. Athletes often say they were in the zone when performing at their peak. For others, such as writers and artists, time ceases to exist and performance or output soars. The main goal of this app is to help you tap into that part of your mind. Autonomic Nervous System, ANS. The subconscious controls your autonomic nervous system, ANS. The ANS is comprised of two basic systems, the parasympathetic and sympathetic. The ANS is the part of your nervous system responsible for control of all your bodily functions that are not consciously directed by you, such as breathing, heartbeat, body temperature, respiratory rate, pupillary response, urination, digestion, and sexual arousal. Sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic system controls the amygdala, which is the part of the limbic system in your brain that controls two stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. Both hormones are released from your adrenal glands to prepare your body to flee, fight, or freeze. The main job of adrenaline, also called epinephrine, is to stimulate body systems so you are ready to respond to a threat. These stress hormones, primarily adrenaline, do several things you may not notice or be consciously aware of, including relaxing and opening your airways so you can take in more oxygen, increase blood flow to your muscles for maximum speed and strength. Stress hormones also increase blood sugar for more available energy and dilates your pupils to enhance vision. You may also experience an increased heart rate, sweaty palms, and goosebumps on your skin, to name a few. This phenomenon happens when there is a perceived threat to your survival. The threat may be real, or it may be imaginary, such as worry or anxiety, which resides in your mind. Your subconscious reacts to all real and perceived threats. Parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic system is the part of the brain that controls your body processes during normal situations. It is the part of your mind that restores and rejuvenates from when you were in sympathetic mode. It is where you are in homeostasis, known as the balance mode. Supports optimal autonomic nervous system functions. You feel safe and conclude that you can now relax. Researcher Candace Pert, 1999, found that your subconscious mind has physiological responses to emotions. Pert stated, "The limbic hypothalamic system of the brain is known as the major mind-body connector charged with modulating the responses of the endocrine, immune, and autonomic nervous systems in response to mental suggestions, beliefs, and emotions. All thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are rooted in the communication between cells that are comprised of neurons within the brain, and which are the building blocks for your entire nervous system. When neurons fire, they produce synchronized electrical pulses that are oscillating together and communicating with each other, which, in turn, form brainwaves. Brainwave patterns. The brainwaves are detected using sensors placed on the scalp, called an electroencephalograph, EEG. Brainwave speed is measured in Hz, Hz, cycles per second, and they are divided into bands delineating slow, moderate, and fast waves. Brainwaves can be thought of as musical notes. The low-frequency waves are like a deeply penetrating drumbeat, while the higher-frequency brainwaves are more like a subtle high-pitched flute. Like a symphony, the higher and lower frequencies link and form a whole. Your brainwaves change according to what you are doing, thinking, and feeling. When slower brainwaves are dominant, you may feel tired, slow, sluggish, or dreamy. When higher frequencies are dominate, you may feel energized, wired, or hyperalert. Ned Herman, 2015, considered the father of brain dominance technology, postulated that the brain can generate as much as 10 watts of electrical power. By understanding how these cycles work, you can harness the different cycles to enhance your life. Gamma waves 40-80 cycles per second, Hz. This is linked to states of high attention, heightened state of the ability to memorize and information processing, sometimes known as the in the zone state of mind. In this state, athletes sometimes report heightened physical abilities. Beta waves 15 to 40 cycles per second, Hz. Most people spend up to 90% of their waking hours in beta. The average adult's brainwave cycle is 21 cycles per second. It also has working memory to accomplish the tasks at hand. This is the optimal state for laser-like focusing. Alpha waves 9 to 14 cycles per second, Hz. This is the frequency range that bridges the gap between conscious thinking and the subconscious mind. It is also a good place for programming and reprogramming the mind. This brainwave state is accessed when daydreaming, meditating, and around 30 minutes before sleeping and before waking up. Alpha brainwaves cycle naturally throughout your day. Daydreaming is a prime example. You are more suggestible or programmable while in an alpha or theta brainwave state or pattern. This is the optimal place for transforming disempowering beliefs into empowering beliefs. Theta waves 4 to 8 cycles per second, Hz. This frequency range is involved when actively dreaming or in a deeper trance state, hypnosis, and is great for programming and reprogramming the mind. Theta brainwaves are associated with light sleep, deep relaxation, meditation, and creativity. It is a great place for emotional processing. Children are predominantly in theta brain wave pattern until the age of 7. This is the time they are most suggestible. This is why it is vital to be acutely aware of their environment, experiences, and messages they are exposed to. These are the most formative years in their lives. Their beliefs, behaviors, and emotional foundations are being set, laying the groundwork for how they will perceive themselves and the world around them. Delta waves 0 to 4 cycles per second, Hz. These are the slowest recorded brainwaves in human beings. Delta waves are most prevalent in deepest restorative sleep and where the body does the work of healing, repairing tissues, strengthening the immune system, and consolidating memories, which is essential for health and well-being. Acorn. Humans naturally move through different brainwave states throughout the day. It is essential to understand the role of brainwaves, the superconscious, subconscious, conscious mind, and how the autonomic nervous system equips you with tools to consciously cultivate happiness. By recognizing how these elements shape your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you can intentionally nurture positive habits and align your choices with deeper wisdom, ultimately sowing the seeds of lasting fulfillment in your life. Continue your learning journey to the next module to explore the 18 rules of the subconscious mind.